Welcome all. This is round 4 of NGT Season 5 here at Dragon Trail. Dragon Trail being one of the absolute favorites in this game as far as the original tracks created by Polyphony Digital goes. If we're lucky, we might be able to actually get on board with one of these guys. Should we go literally on board? I guess we can't. We can go like this though, and let's see if we can get a full lap in. Tires are a little bit dead, but that's all right. We're going through the front start straight, the start finish straight. Sorry. Into a slight kink. Turn 1 is a chicane. Actually, we'll do this later. I don't think I'm going to get to finish this lap through, but we will do a run through a lap for those of you who are watching. Yeah, we've got another stuck check coming in. This is the third and final stuck check, and after that we begin with qualifying. And that should be the end of my fast typing, I promise. Don't know if that was... It's probably just lag from people leaving track, I get it. Okay. Qualifying has started now. Let's go on a lap with No One Sleep in Tokyo coming out of the pits. And into that first kink into turns 1 and 2. This is actually just, it's almost a chicane, but it's just a little too far between the corners to truly be a chicane. It's very tricky. It's very slow, as you can see. A little bit of understeer coming out of there. That's pretty much everywhere. We should be able to do this almost flat out here. Yep. coming into turn, I guess this is turn 5. Actually, I've lost count already. Slow second gear corner, come out of that. Again, a lot of oversteer in the Mazda. Just it's turbocharged, so the turbos come on pretty early here. Into this long fourth gear sweeper to come into the S's. Momentum is key here. These are uphill. You don't want to lose any momentum because you want to go as fast as possible down this back straight into the hairpin corner coming up here. It's a very slow right-hand hairpin. You probably will oversteer coming out of this as well. You got to go way down in the second gear and slowly get on the gas through here. Very tricky, easy to wipe out at the very end of the corner there. It's really frustrating to do that. Now he comes into the bus stop chicane, probably the hardest part of this already technical track. Gets through it pretty cleanly. It's an outlap, so it doesn't count that much, but kudos to No One Sleep in Tokyo for not messing it up on TV here. Now coming to the last turn, another kind of a late apex turn. Yep, the apex is very late, which is perfect for the Mazda. Still gets it a little bit sideways, but you want to get it as straight as possible coming out of there, especially in a car that oversteers coming out of corners like that, and back across the finish line to start his actual lap. Behind him we have Belvica, traditionally very quick, probably will start somewhere in the top 5, not to jinx him. Joker in an Audi R8, interesting livery. I don't think I saw that livery last time, but it makes that car look really sinister. It's a nice closer look at it. Oh, Bill Bader, just a little bit sideways. He got on those curbs. The curbs around here are killers, especially for a car that's as unstable as that Ferrari 488. Lucky for him, he didn't lose too much. He's just at the beginning of a lap, probably still warming his tires up, in fact. But ooh, there's that Mazda oversteer coming out of the corner. Again, you got to be careful with those turbos, especially on these cold tires. Alphatron in the just a little bit squirrely. Saved it though. Nicely done. He's the, I think, sole Hyundai Genesis on track today. Hades in a devilish sounding Corvette. I know it's old school. I know it's really typical, but I think the Corvette might really be my favorite sounding car in this game. And I'm also a 911 fan. They're just completely different sounds, but that deep V8 rumble, that lazy revving rumble is amazing. Bill letting Hades pass through. So you have to give space during quali here. The rules are that you cannot get close enough to catch a draft off of anyone. So even pulling off for Hades there, he's got a way to beat before he can get right back behind him. Because a draft would be an unfair advantage during quali. Lana getting through the chicane very easily there. It looks like Dawson might have tapped the wall behind him, or it could have been just some lag. But that chicane will make or break a lap because it's a very long straight to the last turn after it. Let's see, the times are starting to come in. So we have Prometheus in first so far with a 138.1. Hades behind him with a 138.1 as well. No, I'm sorry, a 138.9. It's not the same number. Lana with a 139. Now these lap times are very preliminary. Tires were cold. People are still kind of getting a feel for the lap. But now tire wear is coming in. Lana's on racing softs to qualify. If I'm not mistaken, someone was on mediums. Yes, Limping Turtle in the Mazda is qualifying on mediums. Why, I'm not really sure. But could just be trying to qualify without having to pit for tires. But doesn't seem, or maybe just doesn't know that he's on mediums. Got some people pitting for tires here. No One Sleeping for Tokyo, one of the first ones out. Probably taking another set of softs. Belvita, who's right behind him, also pitting. No fuel, got to keep that car as light as possible. Just get some fresh rubber with the lighter car. and and fresher tires, you should be able to get your absolute optimal lap time around here. They're a little over halfway through with quali, and I've used a little more than a quarter tank of fuel, so they won't be able to run them all the way to empty, but again, they want to burn as much as they possibly can. Dawson and Bill looking a little slow through the chicane. I think Dawson may just be slowing down to not be in Bill's draft, but Bill also seems to be going slow. I'm not sure what's going on with the speeds here. Going ahead and waving Dawson by. Prometheus is up to first place in the vet now with a 138.1. Actually, he was already up there. I'm sorry, I was thinking about Hades. Hades is up to second with still with the 138.9 actually. I wonder if someone left track. Either way, the two Corvettes are running up front. Wondering when the Hondas will come alive for Belvica and his teammate Lunatic. Lunatic's running in the back here on an outlap, just took tires, it looks like. Got a couple getting in order to separate there. Someone may be able to get a draft. Who wants that? Let's see what time Prometheus puts down here. This is, he's coming into his first full lap after taking those fresh tires. Let's just ride along with him. Or we'll follow along with him. We won't ride. Hard for turns 1 and 2. Gets out of it. Okay, good, good. Kept traction. Very important, especially in that Corvette. You have to respect the throttle in that car. Looking great in turn 4. Purple sector. Purple sector won by almost a 10th. So this is a flyer so far. Clean through the S's, no drama. Kind of jealous actually. A little bit too much curb coming into that hairpin there. That could have been disastrous. It doesn't look like it slowed him down at all, but you saw how deeply the suspension had to go to keep that car settled there. A little bit squirrely coming out of the chicane. It's still looking quick though. Last turn. He is losing his place to other people who are finishing laps. He's actually entering pit lane. I don't know why that would be, but he's taking tires. Okay, well, meanwhile, Lunatic has come up with the fastest lap. The new fastest is a 137.3. That was bizarre. He had fresh tires, so I'm not sure why he was pitting. Oh, a little bit sideways for Lunatic coming out of the first hairpin to go down and head into the S's. That's okay. Dawson, though, in second place in that Hyundai. Dawson, who almost missed qualifying. Glad he didn't now. Pitting for tires. So Prometheus is back out on an outlap now. Teammate Hades riding in fourth place, probably going to pit in this lap, not sure. .5 minutes left in quali. So it looks like we are getting a 15-minute qualifying. I thought I heard that we were getting only 10 minutes. Ooh! Really squirrely coming out of there for Alphatron. And a bit of a penalty going on. Don't think this is a lap that's going to count for anything here for him. Sideways, all through the chicane, and tap the wall on the outside. Yeah, not looking good. Lana has parked his cars, parked the Audi, or I don't know if... No, I don't think he just crashed there. It wouldn't have any reason to keep hanging out. I think he's done. Is it? I think he's done. No one sleep for this last stretch. Oh no, Joker's left the room. Don't know if that's a disconnect, but that, even if he gets back, he's gonna have to start at the back of the pack here. Joker on an outlap, just making one last effort at qualifying better than 9th. Not Joker, I'm sorry, no one sleep in Tokyo. Teammate Limping Turtle is actually right behind him on a slightly different strategy. Lunatic's holding on to the front by half a second on Dawson, which is a lot of time. I have to wonder if someone's going to come in and fill in that spot, that second place spot, because half a second is a huge gap for a field full of people this quick on such a popular track. I mean, everyone knows this track pretty well. Dawson running slow and letting people by here. It's on an outlap, so it may just be saving his tires, keeping them fresh for the next lap, which may help or it may hurt because the tires will also be cold. So, you know, you got to strike that balance there. Sometimes you just got to go all out just to warm the tires up for your quick lap. Prometheus is coming up on Lunatic here, and not pitting, so they're gonna have to separate. At some point, Prometheus cannot get a slipstream down the front drag from him. Belvica is still sitting 8th, which is interesting. This lap is almost at an end here. Let's follow through. He's going to go into the bus stop after this. See how that ends for him. Maybe an increase in place, hopefully. Belvica running it to the ragged edge. There's no fuel left in that car. Past the finish line and is still in 8th place. That was his best lap. It's a 1:38.6, which isn't good for much. He's going to go ahead and park it. I guess that's it for him because, yeah, he wouldn't have time to duck in for fuel and come back out. Pretty disappointing qualifying there for Belvica, but he may be able to fix things in the race here. A lot of stuff can happen at this track. It's funny, this is one of the more popular tracks in the game. Most people know it pretty well, I would say, at least people, races of this caliber, because they've raced on it so much. But that chicane, no one's going through it right now, but actually we can follow along with someone who's coming up to it. No one sleep. We'll get it from an insider perspective here. And you'll see just how scary this is. He's gonna have to pull over. Don't know that he'll finish this at speed. Yeah, he will not. Okay. I'll have to show you guys the chicane some other way. Let's see, who's this coming through here now? Are they gonna go at speed? I can't get to them. Yeah, I can't get to them for some reason. Why can't I get to anyone who's actually on track? There we go. Hades. And the exit's right as we get there. Okay. No go. No go. Abort mission. No one's gonna show us the chicane until it's time to start the race. So we have the official order for the start. We have Lunatic on pole, Dawson in second, Prometheus in third, Bill Bader in fourth, Hades in fifth, Alphatron in sixth, Lanatron in seventh, Belvika in eighth, No One Sleep in Tokyo in ninth, and Limping Turtle rounding out the field in 10th place. Both are Tenzas down at the bottom there. And it looks like they're the only teammates whose cars actually finished, next to each other. And we do have a lot of single entries for some reason today. In fact, we may have... Yep, Bill's the only 458. Lana is the only R8. Their teammates may be in the other lobby or the other division. Well, that's the chicane, not at speed. Hey everyone, actually, I won't be able to hear your answer, or they won't be able to hear your answers on stream if I ask them here, but would anyone like to come on a party chat with me after the race? Maybe we can talk about what happened. I'll probably talk to maybe someone in the top three, or and then another person in the bottom three. I'm not wishing that on you, but just let me know if you're willing in the chat. Thanks. Sorry guys, I had to speak to the party chat of racers here. Looks like we get a 4-minute break before it's time to start. Lana is practicing lines in a very unconventional manner by going in reverse through the corners. I'm not gonna lie, he did pretty much hit the apex there correctly. This is one way to learn the track, sure. It's always interesting to go through and see who's just being silly during these little break periods. Lana may be the only one driving backwards. What's Bill doing? just not noticing some of the detail in Bill's livery here. I hadn't noticed the geometric shapes on the back bumper. A little sideways for Hades. So we're about to start the race here soon. Just going through some final instructions for everyone who's going to be participating in the race. Bill is actually getting a little bit of practice in, dodging other cars, you know, the usual stuff for fast racers, dodging the slower guys, and the occasional handbrake spin. Boop. Light boop. And that answers that question. No, there's no damage in these races. NGT pace car, the Mercedes AMG GTS pace car, beautiful car. Can we get another angle on it? No, we cannot. Wouldn't this be an excellent racetrack to go to in real life? If only it existed. Some of these views and like some of the sweeping corners give you some spa vibes, but I feel like spectating here would be a really unique experience. Another boop. Just going over some final formation lap and race start rules here. But it sounds like we're only seconds away from starting the race officially here. I actually have a Texaco livery for the Corvette. So, as we start here, they'll be starting in the order that I read out earlier. 10 cars. We should be able to get a look at the order here again. But they'll be starting single file in the pace lap behind the pace car, and you cannot overtake or speed up until the race steward actually calls the race green in the chat, typically right at the start finish line, but you never know. The rule is you go when he says to go. So they'll take off here behind Girza, race host and steward. Now the pace lap is useful here for anyone who may have a technical difficulty at home. You know, this is a great time to find out if your pedal set has been unplugged by your cat or something, you know, rather than finding out on the very first green light and getting no go whatsoever. So this gives people a chance to get that final sip of water in, that final check, and make sure their wheel feels good, make sure their TV's in position, their chair's okay, and to make sure the dog has no other needs. No, actually it's too late for the dog now. That is such a great looking car, the AMG GT. I would not say no to one. Not only that, I would happily spend my own money and buy one. Maybe one day. Everybody behind starting to weave, warming up those tires. Cars have remained pretty bunched up. It's a fairly short lap here. There's not much time for them to have really spaced each other out. So they'll be going through the chicane here. And then Girza will duck behind them, or duck to the side rather, after the last turn and let them go. So we'll go on board with Lunatic. Actually, we won't, because I have to escape and then come back in. Gears is off to the side. Lunatic has accelerated away. But we're just not hearing the go, so I'm not sure how that plays out, but he's gone off. Start of the race here, entering turn 1 and 2. Ooh, Dawson a little bit sideways. Let's let Prometheus creep just a little bit closer to him in that Corvette. Dawson's gonna go defensive immediately here, try to salvage that, but yeah, he's got a Corvette sniffing up his bumper. I was not going to go vulgar with that, I promise. Everyone else still pretty close. Looks like everyone got through the first few turns pretty cleanly here. Limping Turtle has already got a car between himself and his teammate. He goes up through the S's in the Mazda. Belvica already up to second. He's also gained a position. It looks like Lana's the one who's lost out. I believe Lana qualified in 6th place there. I wonder what happened there. Anyway, Belvica in 7th, Hades in 6th, Alphatron in 5th, and Bill in 4th. Look at how far away Lunatic is already getting from everyone. But these three are right in each other's drafts. They're going to try to stay there, especially for the start-finish straight. Dawson very defensive into the last corner of the Corvette, though. He's going to try to get a great exit out of that. Try to maybe beat him up the start-finish straight. Tucks in behind him, trying to get a slipstream. Let's see how close he is. Yep, he's going to be able to get around him. Takes a risk going way, way, way outside there to the edge. Oh, a little bit of tap there. Not a lot of room to give in that kink, but Prometheus has made the pass. Just a little bit of contact between them, but no one was worse for the wear. And now Prometheus, is he going to have to defend this, or is he going to be able to go out and chase Lunatic? Lunatic already 2 seconds up the road. No one in his draft. No one ahead of him. No traffic up ahead. Meanwhile, further back, you've just got a train of cars, a train of people trying to put their head down and maybe see if they can get through this first stint and see what the car feels like with a little less fuel in it. Yeah, Dawson's still sticking to Prometheus. He's not going to let him go that easily. And Prometheus still exactly 2 seconds behind Lunatic because he's got to focus on Dawson. Meanwhile, Bill looks like he's getting a little bit closer to both of them and getting away from Alphatron. So let's see here. He's the car between the two teammates. Running like a lone wolf, hunting. This is a terrible analogy. I'm gonna go ahead and let that go, and we'll move on. We'll pretend that never happened. All right, thanks. It's crowded back here. 6 down. Hades drag racing with a Mazda down the front straight, and the same for Lana and Belvika. Belvika squeezing Lana inside there a little bit, just trying to get position for turns 1 and 2. Has the inside for 1, quickly takes the inside for 2 to shut the door for Lana. Good move there, just to hold on to that position a little bit longer. Having a little bit of trouble shaking the R8. Both of these mid-engined cars, both of these will handle similarly, but the R8, if I'm not mistaken, is a lot more civilized than even the NSX became with the new physics update. Yeah, Belvika a little bit sideways, going into that left-hand sweeper, coming into the S's. Not where you want to be when someone's chasing you uphill through the S's. In fact, Lana has gotten just a little bit closer. He's not really going to have position for this corner here. Belvika's still holding on. Meanwhile, what's going on with everyone else? The race is still staying pretty close between most people. Bill's still chasing Dawson. Prometheus has a little bit of breathing room from Dawson. Not a lot, like half a second, maybe. And is a bit closer to Lunatic as well. So similar pace from all 3 of these guys. In fact, maybe... I doubt Prometheus and Dawson are going faster, but you never know. Could be that they're working together. Not really fighting. Dawson would be smart not to keep challenging Bill, to stay in that slipstream, save some fuel, and see if you guys can catch Lunatic together. Meanwhile, something happened to Bill. Bill lost the position to Alphatron and Hades. Now finds himself sandwiched between Hades and Tokyo, with Tokyo actually making a move here into the turn 1 and 2 complex. Tucks back in behind him, but yeah, Bill's not safe here. Bill is not safe here. Right behind No One Sleep is Lanatron. Lanatron has gotten around Belvika for 8th place, trying to get himself back up to at least where he started, up to 6th, which is definitely within sight. Maybe even 5th. Hades kind of running alone right now, which I'd imagine is a nice place to be compared to everyone else. Everyone else seems to be vying for position, wrestling with someone. Maybe not Alphatron. Alphatron also on Easy Street. Let's see what Dawson and Prometheus got going on here. Still running about evenly to Lunatic. Maybe these 3 have settled down and opted to kind of run away from the rest of the pack here, which it looks like they're doing. The next car down is 2.2 seconds. That's Alphatron. And in the back, it's still crabs in a barrel. Lana, a little bit of a wall right there. That's definitely slowed him down. It's letting Limping Turtle get right around him, easily around him, and now Bill is right on his tail. Oh no, maybe not easily. Lana is not gonna just let Limping Turtle take it. He knows Limpy's gonna oversteer out of the corner, which he did, which gives Lana a chance to get right under his wing. Bill is pitting. Early pit stop, it seems to me. No, maybe not. Look at those tires. Maybe not as early as I thought. Anyway, Lana and Limping Turtle still fighting. Tucks in behind Turtle for turn 1 and 2. But yeah, he doesn't want to sit there in last place. This isn't technically last, but there's no one behind him for a while before Bill gets out of the pit lane. Well, towards the front, it looks like the race is spreading out everywhere. Prometheus is actually closer to Lunatic, so we'll see them get back together sooner than later, probably. Well, Lunatic will eventually pit, actually. That would explain why he is falling to Prometheus's clutches. He's on mediums, and they're dying. But yeah, everywhere else, everyone's kind of, alright, we're chilling now. We're good. We got those early lap battles out. But not Lana. Lana and Turtle still going back and forth. This is a position swap. Remember when we last left them, Lana was behind Turtle. Ooh, Turtle. Really, really, really good through that chicane, even behind Lana, even in Lana's dirty air. In fact, Lana's the one who kind of messed up through there. Allows the Turtle to get side by side, but it's not in a really good position for this corner. Gonna try to apex that as late as possible, get the car as straight as possible so we can squirt it down the start-finish straight. Hopefully get an effective slipstream on Lana here. Meanwhile, no one pitting still. Bill's still the first one who was pitted. Going for a bit of an undercut here. Took on Racing Soft. So yeah, he's planning on putting in some hot laps here and seeing where he comes out when everyone else is pitted. And he should be able to do that with no traffic ahead of him. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up when people do pit, but it's possible that he just gets a bunch of free, clean air laps to get in, which is where you want to be when you're in a really fast car and you're a really fast driver like Bill. Prometheus is right on Lunatic now. Don't think he has to take a risk to make a pass. However, he doesn't want Lunatic to slow him down that much either, which would be in Lunatic's best interest, right? Slow him down, waste those tires. But Prometheus would do well to just be a little bit careful, be a little bit patient, because it looks like Lunatic is going to have to pit here. There's no need to crash you both if he's going to get out of your way anyway. Yep, Lunatic tucks into the pits. Prometheus inherits first place for now on those racing hards. Dawson goes on with him, also on mediums, but doesn't tuck in. In fact, a lot of people are passing right by pit lane. Up, no one sleep tucks in. Who else? I think I just saw Belvica. Yep, Belvica's in. Just those three right now. Belvica, No One Sleep, and Lunatic Punk in the pits. So these are considered your early pitters, aside from this guy, Bill Bader. Uh-oh. And it looks like Bill is coming out right behind someone. Maybe not right behind, but it's Lunatic. Lunatic's quick, so Lunatic's not going to be one to slow Bill down. Even being on mediums. So this could still work out in Bill's favor. Just trying to get that clean air so he can just put in some serious laps. Prometheus is just lumbering along. It almost looks like it's just a casual drive for him because there's no one around and because the Corvette sounds the way it does. It just doesn't sound like it's working hard at all. But you can see in every corner there, every time he hit the curbs there, he actually is right on the ragged edge of what those racing hards have left for him. While Dawson's still looking good in the Genesis and is now pitting, I would advise that as well. Got a few more people pitting. Prometheus actually pitted as well. Yeah, it looks like the floodgates have opened. Alphatron is also in. Hades is in. Lana not going in. Still not going in. However, Limping Turtle went ahead and ducked in behind him there. So Lana not being harrowed by him anymore. But it's not going to matter. He's not going to be able to put in very quick laps here. So let's see, who's left out? Lana owes us a pit stop. Bill doesn't owe us one yet. He took a very early one, though. Lana's the only one still out, looking for an overcut of some sort, I guess. Not really sure what the strategy is there, but I trust it. Dolphin comes out with Lunatic right behind him, right where they were at the very beginning of the race. Only this time, Dawson's on some mediums. Oh, and so is Prometheus. So this will be interesting to watch. Now that they've reshuffled, Lunatic is very far ahead of them on mediums, 3.3 seconds ahead, in fact. So I wonder if these two will just work together to try to get ahead of him or get closer to him again, or if Prometheus is going to take the fight to Dawson here. It looks like the latter because, yeah, he is on him. Tight through the chicane together. It's very difficult to do when you're in somebody's dirty air through the chicane, and also just you can't really see around them when you're on their bumper like that, and you have to be able to see what you're doing in the chicane. So that was very well done for him. This is about what you can see when you're right up on someone's bumper like that, depending on the view you use. Looking left, looking right, trying to get around him. Dawson's doing a great job of just defending there, making that little Genesis as big as possible, as wide as possible, not giving Prometheus an easy way around him. This is actually really great racing. Going through the S's, the Genesis is a little bit more agile than the Corvette. But man, Prometheus just knows how to just toss it into the turn and make it work. It's a great chassis, but I'm surprised at how tightly he kept on the Genesis and a lot of that stuff there. It's actually ahead of him coming into the hairpin here. The Genesis has better track position, but if the Corvette can get on the power, no, it's not going to be able to get around him. Is he going to force him? Nope. He's got to tuck in behind for the chicane again. That's really good heads-up racing because Prometheus could have forced Dawson into an error there, but didn't. Just tucked in behind him. It would have caused him to wreck out. That's good. That's respect. And now they try it again. Oh, Prometheus in the grass a little bit there. This time ahead of Dawson to come into turn 1 and 2. If Dawson can stay outside though, he'll have the inside for 2. Nope, he's got to get behind him. There's a great battle going on here. Are there any other good battles going on? We got No One Sleep and Alphatron. These two just got warnings for contact. Must have not been that serious. Bill sitting in last place. Again, another fresh set of RSs. Racing soft tires. Lunatic comfortably cruising up front though. 4.5 seconds to Prometheus and Dawson. Prometheus has made it around Dawson and has stayed around Dawson. Stayed ahead of Dawson and in fact maybe running away a little bit here. So let's see if he can catch Lunatic. I'm not sure. They're both on racing mediums. So we don't have the tire differential there again. Oof. Meanwhile, Tokyo and Alphatron still going at it. Side by side into the hairpin here. Alphatron a little bit wide. Lets Tokyo get an easy over-under on him to get his position right back. And now even has a little bit of breathing room on him going into the chicane, which is what you want. Nicely done. Well done to stay composed there and just keep his line. He kept the racing line and got the corner easily. And now Alphatron isn't even in a slipstream anymore. Belvika comes in, towing Limping Turtle behind him. Lana behind the three of them. You gotta wonder what Lana's thinking right now. Like, is there still a chance for me? I've got 8 laps left. Is there anything I can do? I'm on softs. You know, I can put in as quick a lap as I want to, but those tires are just going to fall off quickly, and this is a track that's really tough on tires. So a lot of really hard braking zones, a lot of high G stuff. You're constantly scrubbing off rubber here. Dawson has come back on Prometheus a little bit. They're going to head into the hairpin. And it looks like they're about to start their fight all over again. This fight for second place is probably the most exciting thing happening on track right now. And it's nice to see. You know, a lot of times people just kind of give up and they're like, oh, I'm fine with the podium. I'm just going to sit here in third place and ride his coattails. Doesn't look like Dawson's like that. Takes a look inside for the last turn. It's actually going to make a move, and it's gonna stick. It's gonna stick. Prometheus, you can see he was looking for an over-under there. Kind of got it. It looks like he's gotten a better exit into the start-finish straight, but not as good as he wanted it to be. So now it is a pure drag race down into turn 1 and 2 again. If Dawson can just hang it around the outside there, he will be a thorn in Prometheus' side for turn 2, but he doesn't. He tucks in again. Which is the safe way to play it. That is the safe way to play it, but it's really satisfying to come back on someone in turn 2 there because you just hung it around the outside. Ooh, a little bit of lag. Don't know if they see that, but I see it on my end here. I hope it doesn't affect them. They're racing pretty closely. Meanwhile, Lunatic is losing time to them, actually. It was a 4-second lead. It's down to 3.1 now. Looks like he's low on fuel, so it could be that he's having to fuel save a little bit here. Doesn't look like he's granny shifting it or anything like that, but it could be in a different fuel map. Either way, he's going to pit this lap. If Prometheus stays out, he'll get to inherit first place and maybe see if he can just put in a really, really blazing couple of laps or one in-lap at least to try to get out ahead of Lunatic and stay out ahead of Lunatic. Yep, Lunatic pitting with 3% fuel. No One Sleep and Belvika. These two haven't been fighting this whole time. No One Sleep was fighting with Alphatron and is now losing another position. I don't know what's going on there. In fact, he's tucking in the pit. That racing soft, that front left, that would explain the losing positions there. Looks like Dawson has gone off or something. Prometheus is now up front with Dawson almost not even in sight anymore. Man, that's bad for Dawson. Good for Prometheus if he can just get in one decent lap here or another decent in lap without anyone harrowing him. That might make the difference. Oh, but a little bit deep on the brakes into the hairpin. Doesn't do that well at all. It's going to lose him a lot of time there. A whole lot of time. Yeah, a couple of tenths at least. He's already lost to Dawson. Just making that mistake. Ooh. And squirreling through the hairpin. Taps the wall a little bit. Slows him down a little bit more. Ooh. Alphatron. A little bit drifty. Sparks flying off the cars as they touch the wall, coming into and out of the chicane. Yep, Prometheus and Dawson are both in. Prometheus has something in the tank at least. Dawson with 0 fuel in the tank. Cutting it very, very close there. And now 2 more have tucked in, giving Lunatic his lead back. Prometheus is about to come out of the pits though. Looks like, yep, he's finished fueling up. He's on track. I just can't get to him. He's on track, 1.5 seconds behind Lunatic Punk and several seconds ahead of Dawson. So this is where he wants to be for this last stint. Just pure chase, Doesn't have to worry about anyone coming up behind him. He's on fresh racing softs. Lunatic is on mediums that are a couple of laps old at this point. So, I mean, I don't want to say it, but you know what I'm trying not to say. Dawson, meanwhile, also on softs, I guess looking to chase and see if he can get that second place, or at least make a respectable show of it. But for now, he's chilling in third place. No one near him. Doesn't have anyone to worry about right now, except, doesn't have anything to worry about, rather, except taking that car home. In one piece. One digital piece? Well, there's no damage, so even that doesn't matter. He could crash it if he wants to. I guess he just has to keep third place. Everyone is on fresh, or at least recently fresh, tires. Everyone is settled in for this last stint. Lana is in 5th place for this final stint. A lot of the order is really shuffled here. Just different strategies playing out, and playing out pretty well for some people. However, the race is still pretty close in parts. You can see right now, if you look on the map in the upper right, there's a whole, I'm in the middle of a bunch right here who are all together. And then up front, you've got Prometheus chasing down Lunatic. So the order of a lot of these cars is not guaranteed. And you got a good mix of tire compounds and tire life too. So, 4 or 5 more laps here. 4 more laps of this. Lunatic putting in a purple first sector there by half a second. That is the fastest sector 1 of the race by half a second so far. Didn't see if Prometheus could match that. I don't think I can see that info. Can we? Let's see. No, I can actually. And no, Prometheus did not beat that sector 1 time. That is still a purple sector by Lunatic on those used racing mediums. Huh. Wait. I lied. Alphatron put in a 33-240. I stand corrected. In any case, Prometheus is already getting closer. He's within the slipstream now, 0.8 away from Lunatic, and faster in a straight line, so he's just gonna pull and pull and pull here. Oh yeah, it's already cut that by almost a 10th coming into turn 1 and 2. Meanwhile, if we go back to that bunch that's all packed up there, they're starting to spread out again. The teammates are back together. No one's sleeping. Limping Turtle up 1 position respectively. They started in 9th and 10th, and now they're 8th and 9th. Bill Bader still by himself out back. Last place in very worn racing softs and very sideways through the last turn. That is part of the appeal, and I say appeal sarcastically, of the Ferrari. It does that. Anyway, pitting for tires is Bill, but Prometheus is now starting to make this pass on Lunatic and makes it easily, very easily. I suspect Lunatic just kind of let him go there. Just said there's no point in fighting here. Let's just get this through. Though Lunatic is going to want to stay close if he can keep the pressure on Prometheus. He may force him into an error that gives him first place again, or can at least, you know, take advantage if he doesn't cause the error, but Prometheus just messes up. Giving him the position does not mean that he's giving up. It just means he realizes, hey, there's no real point in continuing to fight. Just wanted to see how long it would take before Prometheus started to run away from Lunatic. Not that long at all. Atlanta still holding on to 5th place on those racing softs. They're starting to give, though. Behind him, he's got Alphatron on less worn mediums. But it would be nice to come in to a top 5 here. Ooh, and Belvika almost around in the Acura. Sorry, in the Honda NSX. Saves it. Whoa. That was a poopy moment. For sure. Gotta wonder if Bill is maybe just not used to driving the Ferrari around here, or at all. I can't remember that I've seen him driving the Ferrari a lot, but that I could be wrong. But just not a great showing for him out here. Just heard the announcement that Prometheus has, and it looks like that is correct. He has started the final lap. 2 seconds ahead of Lunatic. 2.5 seconds ahead of Lunatic, actually. I think Lunatic was a little bit sideways going to turn 1 and 2 there. Dawson has to be wondering right now, what would have happened if I hadn't had an issue and kept up with Prometheus? Could there be 2nd place or maybe even 1st place there for him? Chances are he's not going to find out here. Watching the 2 teammates run here. Confirmed finish from Prometheus in 1st place, Lunatic in 2nd. Dawson coming through in 3rd place. Well done by the top 3 there. Prometheus' teammate Hades in 4th place. And it looks like Lana's gonna get his 5th place. Top 5 finish. Not bad for someone who parked it very, very early in qualifying. I am going to open up a party and invite some of the drivers to come in with me here. Almost done, guys. Just sending out my invites. My invites. My invites. My invites. Oh, I'm not friends with Prometheus, so he's not showing up in my friends. Is it DNA Prometheus? Yes. All right, invite sent. Let's see if any of these players will want to talk to us about the race here. Hopefully so. If not, then we'll try again next week. No biggie. Hey, Prometheus, how are you? Good, good. Congratulations on the win. Yeah, well done. How did that I don't know what happened between you and Dawson. I don't know what happened when he I guess stopped being right on your bumper there, but can you tell us what it was, or did you see it? Right. No, that definitely was the right decision to make there, because it allowed you to just focus on catching up to Lunatic, which you did, obviously, and made the pass, and got a well-deserved win. But it felt like you were battling pretty much the whole race with Dawson. Like there was never a break, it seems like. Yeah. Um. Sorry. Go ahead. I don't. That's actually what I was gonna say. Is I don't remember what he started on. Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm. It did work out. Right. Right. Um. That's a one thing that I guess a lot of people who watch these races don't realize is when you've got the tire and fuel wear on, strategy plays just as much of a role, if not more than speed, right? And car setup. Because actually, you can't set up the cars in this league. So, to really get away from him, yeah. Yeah, I am constantly told that the Hyundai's kind of a sleeper in this game. Not a lot of people take it, but it's a great overall car, really great on tire wear, which probably explains why he was kind of a constant threat for you, was that his tires just never really fell off, right? Oh yeah, yeah. Very good race. Well, thank you for stopping by and saying something to us. I guess good luck with next week. I'm sure you have a lot of practice to do. Oh, really? Hades. That's always it, right? Whenever I do races here, I don't even practice trying to go fast. I'm just like, just be consistent and you'll get the positions. Very good points. Absolutely. Yeah, congrats to both of you. You're welcome. See ya. So we haven't seen Bill or Lana join, so it doesn't look like they're going to. At this point, I'm gonna go ahead and say we can just end the stream here, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Actually, I won't be streaming next week, but someone else will. Have a good one.